welcome to the Xinsto Career Series Helpdesk Technician. This is part 3 in which we are going to be talking about helpdesk ticketing systems. In the previous videos we covered deploying software and asset management, and in this episode, or in this part of the series, we're going to be talking about helpdesk ticketing systems, what they are, how they work, and why it's important to have one. So as you can see, we're looking at Manage Engine's Service Desk Plus. This is a fantastic helpdesk software that I do enjoy and do recommend quite often. This is probably one of the most versatile and feature-rich helpdesk platforms out there that is also free, and that is one of the reasons why I recommend it, because you can upgrade it. It ships with a ton of features, and then simply by upgrading your license you can get access to these features. So let's say your company starts out real small and has maybe 50 employees or so and 1 or 2 techs. The free version of Service Desk Plus is perfect. It'll fit in perfectly. Now let's say your company explodes overnight and you now have 5,000 users in offices all across the country. It can be a pain to migrate from one helpdesk system to another. So if you can implement one at the beginning and just expand it, it makes a lot of sense. You won't lose any records or any information, and you'll have it all there. That's the beauty of Service Desk Plus. So your company expands to 5,000 users overnight, and you have 100 helpdesk technicians. By upgrading the license, you can now implement industry standard frameworks such as ITIL and the different items that ITIL comes with, such as change management, configuration items, even breaking down the tickets from it not being just a ticket, but having an incident, a change request, a problem, and so forth. But we're not really going to be talking about the ITIL framework in this video. We're just giving you an overall introduction to helpdesk systems. Alright, so I'm logged into Service Desk Plus as an administrator, which is why I have a few extra tabs up here. As a general technician, you probably will not see a reports tab, a community tab, or an admin tab. You'll just see the dashboard, the requests, the solutions, and home. Now we would see other tabs if I had a license installed to unlock those other features, but in this case we're just looking at the basics, so we only have these options available. On the home page here, you can notice that we have a quick create incident box, which allows us to quickly open up a ticket for a user. This comes in handy, and not every helpdesk system has it. Some you actually do have to go and click a button to open up a ticket. This is one of the reasons why I love Service Desk Plus. This is here out of the box. It's quick and easy, and it doesn't matter. You might have just logged in for the day and a user calls. You can quickly take down their information and open up a brand new ticket for them just like that. The other very important feature is the search feature. I love searching, and you'll hear me say it a lot. Always search for something before you post it. So that usually applies to forums and communities online, but in the helpdesk world, chances are it's not the first time the issue has come through the system. Another user, maybe a few weeks ago, a few months ago, or even a few years ago, had this issue. By doing a quick and simple search, you can find that issue and see what was done. And then recent items, this just shows a running history of everything that you've done. Under my view, we have my summary. So this just gives you an overview of any requests that you have to take care of, and if you have any tasks available, and if there's any announcements in the system. Administrators can add announcements for both admins and end users. So for example, if the help desk is going to be unavailable due to a holiday, there would probably be an announcement in the system. Or maybe that there's a known issue experiencing connectivity to a file server, or printer's down and you're working on it. You can place an announcement in here. So that way when the end users go to log in, they will see that announcement and they can say, oh hey, IT already knows that the printer is being worked on, or the printer's not working, or the file server's not working. The dashboard just gives us an overview, gives us some graphs. It's mostly useful for managers, so we're going to skip that. Our next tab that we're going to focus on is the Requests tab. The Requests tab is where all the tickets are at. I just have a few tickets in the system right now. This isn't a fully functional system, as we don't use it internally. All Xinsto employees actually use a different system. I just installed this one just fresh out of the box, so that way I could demo it for you. As you can see, this looks very familiar. It kind of looks like Outlook in a way, doesn't it? We have a subject line, we have who sent the ticket, but we have a few extra fields. For instance, we have an ID. This is what's also known as the ticket number. So if you've ever had to create a request for support and call someone and they give you a ticket number, this is the number in Manage Engine Service Desk Plus. As you can tell, it's a fairly brand new system because we're still in the single digits. If you join a help desk that's already been established, chances are the ticket numbers are going to be in thousands or several thousands or hundreds of thousands. Also depending on how long the company has had that system and the number of tickets open per day. For example, I've worked in places where only maybe 10 tickets were open per day. And I've also worked in a place where we had hundreds of tickets open per day. So the rate at which the ID increases can be a little or a lot. We can see who the ticket is assigned to, and as you can see up here, I'm looking at my open or unassigned tickets. So this view is going to show me any tickets that are assigned to me or unassigned. So that means they're not assigned to a technician, somebody's not working on them. This is a good view for Service Desk Plus, and if I click on this, you can see that there's a lot of different views, and that's one of the reasons why I love Service Desk Plus. Out of the box, it gives you all these views, and it makes it easy to keep your work organized. Here we see a due by date. This is because of an SLA, or a service level agreement. SLAs define when a response needs to be set on a ticket and when a ticket needs to be resolved by. We can see that the ticket's currently open, and we have a created date. We can see when it was created. If the user was assigned to a site, or if we had sites set up in Manage Engine Service Desk Plus, and this is why I love this software, we could actually define this. So that way, just by looking at the ticket, we could see where Jennifer is located or where Howard is located. So for example, Howard might be in a branch office. And if we had sites set up, right away we'd be able to see that Howard was in a certain branch office. And this is another reason why I like Service Desk Plus. We can actually create rules. So let's say we have another technician who actually sits out in that office where Howard's at. We can create a rule so that when anybody from that branch office or that site puts in a ticket, it automatically goes to that person. It just saves some time. Over here we can see priority, and we can see the group that it's in. Grouping is just another way to categorize tickets. So let's go ahead and take a look at a ticket. We're going to take a look at the ticket that Howard put in. Office printer is out of cyan toner. So we click on it, And again, we can see the ticket number. We have some options up here at the top. We have an edit button, which allows us to fix any of the anything in the initial request. Because I'm an administrator, I can edit everything in this ticket. But because when you come on to a help desk, you're more than likely not going to have administrator access. You're going to have some access, but not a lot. You're going to be treated like a standard user. All that means is that if you were to click the edit button, you might only be able to edit the description, and that's it. Maybe who submitted the ticket and the categories, but that's about it. The close button, we use this when the request is resolved. So for example, if I go over to Mary's desk and I replace the cyan toner, the request would be resolved, so I would come back and hit the close button. The assign button allows me to pick up the request or assign it to another technician. In this case, because I'm going to work on it, I'm going to click on pick up. Now the request is assigned to me, as we can see up here. The actions, we can merge, we can link, duplicate, print, or delete the ticket. Chances are you'll never see a delete button. The only reason why I have a delete button is because I'm an administrator. If you can delete tickets, please don't unless it's something that needs to be removed from the system, such as a spam email or something garbage. Never delete tickets because they are records of information, and like I said earlier, if you go to search, we need to know what happened. Maybe it's a problem that just cannot be solved. If you delete the ticket because it's done and we just couldn't solve it, there's now no record of that issue. So if another technician goes to find or goes to search that error message or whatever and doesn't bring up a ticket, now they're going to spend a lot of time to find out an answer that we already had. So if you can delete tickets, only delete spam emails. We can enter resolutions, add notes, attachments, a work log, tasks, view tasks and reminders and dependencies. We can also submit it for approval. We can search solutions, and we can view requester details and other requests by the requester. This comes in handy to see if they've already submitted the issue again. And then the reply button, we can hit reply, we can forward the request, we can email the tech, or we can SMS the technician. I don't have email set up on this server, so none of these features work, but essentially what would happen is that a window would pop up which would allow us to send an email directly to Howard. And then this is our work log timer. Depending on the environment that you are in, you may have a manager that will need or request for you to log your time into tickets. If you work for what's known as a managed service provider, which is what Xinsto is, it's very important that the time is logged on the tickets. For example, if one of our clients submits a ticket and it's billable work, the technician who works that ticket needs to log their time. We can't just bill a client blindly for services that they didn't receive. So that is why you sometimes see these timers in tickets. So that way at the end of the month or however billing is set up, the client gets billed appropriately. Or in the case of internal IT help desk, the manager might want to see how long it takes to solve certain types of issues. For example, changing toner really shouldn't take that long. However, if the manager notices that toner requests are taking quite some time, they're going to look into it. Like maybe the technician doesn't know how to change toner, or maybe there's a special procedure to change toner, or maybe it's just overall a time-consuming process. Maybe this is a crazy printer that requires a bunch of doors and things to be opened, and it requires a bunch of internal maintenance. It's not just changing the toner. That's important for the manager to know. we come down here to request details. This shows us who opened the ticket, the technician assigned, and how it's categorized. And down here we can see what kind of SLA is applied, when it was created, when it's due. And if there's a response due by time, we'll know when we need to reply. And then the requester details shows us information about who opened the ticket. In this case, Howard opened the ticket. We have his phone number. And if we had it populated, we could have the department that he works in, his email address, a mobile phone number, and his business impact. And that's a ticket. Working on tickets is very simple. You just take the description and you resolve it. That's it. That's all a trouble ticket is, or a help desk ticket. You just work on the issue. Now let's say I go over to Mary's desk, I replace the cyan toner, and the printer's now working. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close the issue because it's resolved. So I'm going to click on the close button. We have the option FCR, or first call resolution. This may or may not be a applicable field for your help desk, but in this case we're gonna just talk about it briefly. This is what's known as a metric. There are several metrics that you as a technician will get measured on as a help desk tech. They're going to look at how many calls are FCRs, or first call resolution. A first call resolution means that you resolve the ticket right away in one call. AKA, you go to the user's desk, you solve the issue, cool, the issue's resolved. What isn't a first call resolution is if you resolve the issue, or you have to look into the issue a little bit further, and there's a lot of back and forth between you and the user. Maybe the user needs to provide some additional details. In that case, it's not a first call resolution. Has the requester acknowledged the resolution? This just makes sure that you checked and that the problem is actually solved. In this case, because we replaced the toner, I'm going to select yes. If you have any comments, you can leave it, such as replaced the toner and printer now works. Request closure code. These can be set based on the company's requirements. In this case, it was a success, and I'm not going to leave any comments, or I can actually just copy and paste my comments from there. And we're going to click on close request, and here we go. The request is now closed. We can see up here it's closed. It's FCR. If it turns out that it's not an FCR, we can always uncheck this. And if we go back to the request list, because it's assigned to me but it's now closed, we don't see it. If I want to see my requests that are closed, I can just select completed requests, and I can see all the requests in the system that are closed. Now the next thing we're going to be talking about is a knowledge base. A knowledge base, or solution, is a record of information for commonly requested items or frequently asked questions, sometimes as it's called. These articles contain lots of information. It can be technical information, or it can be very simple information as to who to contact for something. In Service Desk Plus, there's two types of articles. There's public, which is available to technicians and requesters or selected user groups. And then there's private. It's only available to technicians. Since I'm logged into the system as an administrator, I'm also considered a technician. So let's click on how to run a trace route. As we can see, a knowledge base or a solution can be very detailed. As you can see, we have different fonts, we have pictures, and we have text in here. That's the whole purpose of a solution. It's to show how to solve an issue, or who to contact, or information about a problem. you can be as liberal as need be with solutions. If it's going to be for an end user, I highly recommend using graphics. Use screenshots. You can take screenshots on your system and paste them in so that way the user can see. For example, the Windows and R key, I used a picture because some people may not know what a Windows key is. By this, they can see, oh, I'm supposed to press the Windows key and the R key on my keyboard. And then I should see a box that looks like this, which I type CMD into. And then I get a box like this. Okay, here's the command, and they can follow along very easily. Let's look at a private article. So rebooting the Office router. Now this is something that we definitely don't want normal employees knowing how to do. We would definitely want to be made available to technicians, just in case something with the Office router needs to be done, they know what to do. They can click on this. Because it's private only to them, the end users won't see it. So it says here, only network operations may reboot the router. So now if a Xinsto employee was to pull this up, they would have to be a Helpdesk technician in order to see it. And they know if there's any issues going on to contact network operations, and the network operations team would then reboot the router. This also works in case a user asks, hey, can you reboot the Office router for me? They won't see this, but a technician who might not know what to do can search, reboot the Office router, and this knowledge base article will pop up and they'll know who to talk to. These are great for internal steps and processes. Some help desks even put in policies in here. I worked in a help desk where we had a whole it was a whole category that was private and available just to us as technicians, and it told us how to provision new user accounts, how to provision emails, how to install certain software that required some special setup assistance. So you can use this for anything that you want, and it comes in handy. I see companies all the time that don't have knowledge bases, or it might be somebody just takes something and jots it in a Word document. Well, instead of putting it in a Word document, transfer it into a knowledge base where everybody can use it and search it and view it. It'll make your life so much easier. Anyways, that about wraps it up. I know this video was a little bit on the long side, and there's still so much more to cover. We only talked about tickets and knowledge base in just that amount of time. So there's probably going to be a part 4 to this, in which I'm going to dive in a little bit more into Service Desk Plus, and I'm also going to show you how to install Service Desk Plus on your own computer at home. This way you can have practice working with a help desk system. Because Service Desk Plus is free and it's easy to use and it's standalone, it's awesome to use on your own PC. This way you can actually run a service desk from your computer, you can try it out, and you don't have to worry about breaking anything. And you can actually see the process. You can see how an end user submits a ticket, and you can also see how a technician works on a ticket, and you can also see the different features that are available. And if you're feeling really daring, you can even get practice from your family and friends, and I'll show you how to set it up so that way your family can access your computer from their computers and submit tickets to you. In fact, when you become the family technician, it might even help you save some time. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this Career Series video. My name is Travis, and I'm always happy to help. At Xinsto, We value all of our customers, even those who aren't already customers. If you have a question about any of our Career Series videos, please feel free to send an email to support@xinsto.com. It'll open up a ticket and we'll get back to you and help you out the best we can. We always offer basic free support. If you like this video and you want us to do more Career Series videos, please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll work on some more videos. Also, if you have an idea for a video that you would like us to do, please leave us a comment and we'll gladly look into it. Thanks everybody, and have a great day, and can't wait to see you again in part 4.